Would you come with me to France? We could dance on the Champs-Élysées. Let's take a chance on amour.
Good day on this 25th of August 2020. Welcome to Notes and Notions from the Writing Desk. I'm your host, Joanne de Simone, and I want to thank you always, LTV, East Hampton, for this opportunity and for the continuing work of public access, a true essential to us all. Let's keep it going, no matter what. As I do every day of my life, I send my best wishes and good tidings to Mr. Steven Spielberg, and I look forward to the day when he will meet my Metro Cats and other characters, because I know it will be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. My guests today, and are they wonderful guests, let me tell you. We have Sandra Kay, who is an actress, a comedian, and a talk show host on Cafe with Sandra Kay, right here on LTV East Hampton. And Sara Minisquero, actor, burlesque performer, and stage manager. Okay, so today, Sandra and Sara honor me by reading 4 scenes from my award-winning play, Judy's Dead, a story of friendship, mothers and daughters, social mores and morals from the 1960s through the 1990s. Sandra will read the part of Rose, the mom, and Sara, the part of her daughter, Emily. First, just a little bit about you ladies. Let's start with Sandra. I know you do a lot, so
Yes. Thank you, Joanne. Pleasure to be here today. I just want to say thank you to LTV and thank you, Joanne. And the Cafe with Sandra Kay is a wonderful experience because I get to meet and interview very interesting people that contribute to our community out here. Artists, directors, writers, small business owners, fitness instructors. And I've had the good fortune to perform Exit Strategy at the Southampton Cultural Center. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. And Sara, we worked together on this when it was Linoleum's Hard. You played Emily.
10 years ago.
And you've done a lot. Her first gig out of college.
It was my very first gig out of college, and I will never forget this opportunity. Thank you so much for the promise of revisiting this piece. I love it.
No, it's great. Okay, so we ready? We'll read these scenes, and I hope we have a good time doing this. Okay, scene. Emily is 16 years old, and her mother, Rose, are on a street. Rose is angry. Emily is silent, not wanting to provoke her mother any further.
I don't care if you're the star. I don't care what that dean, Mrs. Peters, said. That I'm too hard on you? Who gives a damn? You can't play hooky for 2 weeks and expect to get rewarded by being in a play.
But I'm the star!
Let them find another star.
But it's Carousel!
The carousel will have to go round without you. I had to lose a day's pay to come down here and explain why you haven't been in school for the past 2 weeks. What's wrong with you? You have to be responsible. I don't understand this. What did you and Lena do for 2 weeks? And don't lie to me.
We went to the movies.
You went to the movies?
Yes, and we played 500 Rummy. It was like a marathon tournament.
How many movies did you see?
I don't know, 5, I think.
5, huh? What did you see?
A Star is Born. And
Don't be a smartass.
No, really, it was a Judy Garland festival.
Where did you see those movies? I was at Aunt Louise's last week. They weren't on television, and they're not playing in the movies now.
Yes, they are. In Manhattan, in the Village, there's this movie theater that shows old...
Where did you get the money to go into Manhattan and see 5 movies?
Lena. She paid for most of it.
How?
I think she cashed in some soda bottles.
You said most of it. What about you? How much money did you have?
About 75 cents. That was enough for the train, and...
Where did you get the money?
I asked Mrs. Rourke if she had any soda bottles.
What? You think Mrs. Rourke couldn't use that money herself? If you ever do that again, don't ever embarrass me again like that. Emily, look at me. You tell me that being in a play is what you like most of all? So what happened? You play hooky when you're supposed to be? Emily, there are consequences. You know, consequences. We all have to be responsible, and you are no exception. We take responsibility. I hope you enjoyed all those movies, because you're being punished. What? Did you want to say something?
No.
Damn right you don't. I should wipe the streets with you right here. You get home, straight home. I'm going to the factory. Maybe they'll give me a shift tonight to make up for today. And no radio, and no card playing with that partner in crime of yours. Since when did I start running a home for truants? By the way, where was her mother today?
I don't know. I'm not sure she knows. I mean, I don't know if Lena even told her mother.
The dean came to my door on a Saturday. Didn't the dean go to Lena's mother's door?
I don't know. Maybe her mother wasn't home. I'm not sure she knows.
What the hell does that woman know? If she wants to be a nurse, why doesn't she start with her own daughter?
What?
Nothing.
Did you talk to her mother?
Last month, I saw Lena get in a car with a bunch of boys.
So?
So? Did you ever go joyriding with them?
No, you told me you'd kill me.
That's right.
But Lena's mother doesn't care if she...
Exactly. She cares more about the flowers on her front lawn.
No, I mean, she doesn't care if Lena goes joyriding. It's just for fun.
Fun? I knocked on Lena's mother's front door, her solid walnut, probably soundproof front door, and told her that her daughter was in a car with 4 boys. She told me, I know, she does it all the time. But she wasn't paying attention. It was the way she held the door open, like she wanted me to notice the place. I don't know. Emily, I asked her who those boys were. That information, Mrs. Florence Nightingale Jackson didn't know. So I ask you, what does that woman know?
I don't...
Get home. Wait. Does she know that Lena...
Know what?
Know what? Listen, kid, you're not that good an actress. Let me tell you this, once and for all time, if I ever catch you smoking pot or taking anything stronger than Bayer aspirin, I'll wipe every street in Brooklyn with you.
I don't take drugs, and neither does Lena.
You sure about that? Kiddo, if I know...
Don't you like Lena? She's my best friend since...
Yes, I like Lena. I feel a little sorry for her. But if I was her mother, I'd be a lot harder on her. What does a father do besides hide behind his wife?
He's just quiet, that's all.
In fact...
Her mother is different.
Different? The word is indifferent. Forget it. Get home. Don't even think of watching television. Aunt Louise was nice enough to give us her old set. I'm unplugging it. And no radio, no cards, just homework. I'll see you later.
Okay. Okay, but please, just let me be in the play. I'm the star.
A star is born. A star dies. That's life, kid. Get used to it.
I'm the star.
Rose is talking on a public phone. She's extremely agitated. Emily, sad and resigned, speaks to herself out loud. The conversation is separate. Neither can hear each other's dialogue.
Cloverdale 91379. Thank you, operator. Cloverdale 91379. Yes? Hello? Mrs. Workman, this is Rose December. Don't hang up. You could have at least opened the door. We have a situation. Your son, Mrs. Workman, don't hang up. Your son is also responsible.
My mother said I'm the one responsible.
They're both responsible, Mrs. Workman. Her fault? It takes two to tango, Mrs. Yes, but your son, Danny? What do you mean? She's of age. Your son is also 19. Isn't he of age enough to take some responsibility? It's not all Emily's fault.
My mother thinks this is all my fault.
Mrs. Workman, if you don't want to talk to me alone, let's sit down and talk about this with... We can talk to Father Ryan at St. Michael's Church. I know you're Jewish, but the priest won't mind. We all answer to the same God, you know. What? Out of the question. Take my daughter to some butcher. We're Catholics, Mrs. Workman. We don't believe in abortion. First of all, it's illegal. But most of all, it's a sin. It's
murder.
Murder. I have never committed a crime in my life, and I won't start by killing my grandchild. But it's your grandchild, too. How can you be so... What? What is that? What is she? My daughter is a what?
Shiksa. Maybe it means fat.
Not a Jewish girl. What the hell does that mean? Do Jewish girls do it any differently? So you're telling me, because we're not Jewish, you're willing to kill? I don't care. Shiksa, schmiksa, Emily is not going to have an abortion. We can work something out, even if we aren't Jewish.
We can't work anything out because I'm not Jewish.
You tell your son that if I ever get my hands on him, I'll wipe the streets with him.
Rose wanted to wipe the streets with me, but she didn't want to hurt the baby.
Your son's name is going on the birth certificate, Mrs. Workman. That's right. If my grandson is going to be a bastard, he's going to be a half-Jewish bastard. Tell that to your rabbi. If Danny won't take half the responsibility, he can carry half the shame. There are consequences. I'm not finished. There are always consequences. Hello? She's finished.
I'm finished. Now it's my daughter's turn. I'm sure it'll be a girl. It just has to be.
Scene. Scene. Outside a factory building, Emily is now in her mid-40s, and Rose is obviously much older. They are on the front steps of, and Emily is trying to comfort Rose, who is in a confused state.
Mom, are you okay?
What?
Sit down. You probably just need some air. It's stifling in there. You'll feel better in a minute.
What?
Mom, your boss called me. He asked me to come take you home.
Who?
Your boss, Mom. He said you were staring at the sewing machine, that you were holding the bobbin.
Bobbin?
The bobbin, the little thing that goes in the sewing machine. You thread it.
Thread it?
Are you kidding? Mom, you've been threading bobbins for... Don't you remember? This is where you work.
Do we work together?
Ma, it's me, Emily, your daughter.
My daughter?
Oh my God. Listen, you're Rose. Rose December. I'm your daughter. You have a granddaughter, Judy. Remember her?
Judy? Where's the butchers?
The butcher. Yes, the butcher. That's where we live.
Ralph.
My father?
He died. He didn't have insurance. Didn't believe in it. Thought it would jinx him into dying. He died anyway. We all do, you know, die. I ended up over the butcher's with my daughter.
Yes, Mom, with me.
Is the butcher's far away?
Mom, Aunt Louise, Aunt Millie, Uncle Mike, you remember them? I'm taking you to the hospital. Maybe Lena can pick us up in the car.
Her mother is a disgrace. She doesn't give a damn what happens to that girl. I don't understand why Beatrice Jackson tries so hard to make her house a showplace. It's her kid that needs help. She better be careful, or Lena will be expelled. And that other business.
What other business? Mom, Lena lives in Manhattan now, remember? Mr. and Mrs. Jackson went down to Florida.
Judy,
What?
she looks like her father. Jewish, you know? I'm glad. He can never deny her.
That's all. I'm taking you to the hospital right now.
End scene. Scene. Rose's kitchen a few years later. Emily is seated at the kitchen table. She's dowdy looking. She is wrestling with several bottles of pills while she writes intently in a notebook. She picks up a bottle, reads the label, writes the information in a notebook. She repeats the process. Rose enters. She is surprisingly lucid. She plops down in a chair, picks up a bottle, squints to read the label.
Your friend would have a field day with these. I didn't disappear altogether. Not yet. Almost, but not yet.
Are you okay?
Look at these pills. Medicine, medicine. And in the end, nothing can help you.
I'm sorry.
What do they call this? Oh, yes, I know. It has a fancy name. It's hard to spell, too.
Ma. Oh, Mom.
The easy way to remember it is the long goodbye. I know all about it. It's all right, Emily. I just wish it was goodbye. Already, for me, it's been goodbye. Oh no, hello. I'm back. Oh no, goodbye. Hello. I feel like Groucho. Hello, I must be going. It's too confusing.
I'm so sorry.
Stop that. I should be flattered. I mean, I'm in good company. Ronald Reagan has the same thing, doesn't he? I wonder if he remembers he's not president anymore. See, if you stuck to acting, you could have been president. Look at me. I'm the one who should be sorry
What for?
for playing your hand.
What?
What's the name of that card game you always played with Lena?
500 rummy. Why?
Lena was good at it, wasn't she?
Very good.
Of course she was. Still is, I bet.
And what has that got to do with...
It's the same in life.
But, Mom, please.
No! Listen to me. Life, Emily, life. It's just like that card game. You get dealt a hand, you look at it, then you pick a card. You look at that card to see if it fits in your hand. Sometimes the card looks good, so you keep it. Maybe another card will come along to fit in with that card, and you get something going. Sometimes you pick a card, and you know right away it won't fit with anything. So what do? You get rid of it. You throw it on the discard pile. Some people are dealt a good hand right from the beginning. Maybe they just need one card to win, like that girl, the actress in your class. Her winning card was her father. I don't know too many people like that. Some of us are given cards that don't fit together at all. But we watch the cards being played, and we build from there. We move the cards around. We manipulate. We might even cheat, just slightly. But we win, like Arlena.
What does this have to do with her?
She played her life the way she played her cards. She knew what cards to keep and which ones to get rid of. Nobody taught her. She figured it out for herself. Smart girl.
What are you talking about? You used to feel sorry for her, and I never knew why.
Yeah, well, it's amazing how much better your eyesight gets when you start losing your mind.
What are you talking about?
Your cards, Emily. I played them for you. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
What cards?
Judy, I never asked you what you wanted. I don't know. Maybe you didn't want to. The thing is, I never asked you what you wanted. Your friend, Lena, would have done what she wanted. She did.
She wanted me to have an abortion so I could follow my...
Manipulate, cheat, even slightly.
But you said abortion is a sin.
I still believe it's a sin. And I love my granddaughter, but
But?
when your father died, you were just a baby. I wanted to send you to live with Aunt Louise, just for a year. So I could work and take a night secretarial course, you know, typing, stenography. I could have gotten a job in an office, wear a suit with a hat and gloves. My father told me that I had to be responsible, to give up all the silly ideas of going to school. Worst of all, they all said that with work and night school, I'd be away from you too much. You wouldn't know me. You wouldn't remember I was your mother. Funny, isn't it? Very soon, I'll be the one not remembering that you're my daughter.
I didn't know.
Well, my dream wasn't as grand as yours. I wasn't looking for a big audience to love me. I would have been very happy to hear, "Mrs. December, would you come in and take a letter?" And I'd get up and walk with a purpose. In my sensible pumps into the boss's office, sit down, cross my ankles, open my steno pad, and take that very important letter. Instead, I sewed collars and zippers in a putrid green smock.
And Lena?
Okay. Lena doesn't wear sensible pumps, and she never took a letter. But Emily, your friend, she took what she wanted, what she needed to live. There's something ironically fortunate about having an indifferent mother. Lena, she knew which cards to...
And I didn't.
I never gave you the chance. Be an actress. Keep the baby.
You said there were consequences. You wanted me to be responsible. Besides, I really thought that my daughter would want what I wanted. And you went after Mrs. Workman.
I had to blame somebody. I'll bet she didn't lose a wink of sleep over it. Judy was a card that didn't fit in her hand, so she tossed it. Good for her. Believe me, kid, a conscience can be a curse. I don't know. Something that seems so terrible at the time. But there's Judy. I know you love her. I should have let you decide for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Now, you have to let Judy play her own hand and let her have a little bit of Lena in her. It's good for her. Emily, I wanted you to know this because not long from now, I'll be leaving.
End scenes. Wow, that was wonderful. I hope that you enjoyed reading it as much as I enjoyed hearing it. Thank you. So we'll ask that question we always ask. Who wrote that?
Who wrote that? Who wrote this amazing play?
Who wrote that play?
What a gifted name.
Well, we have a couple of minutes. Okay. So, I mean, you're a mom. So,
Yes.
So obviously, you're a much different mom than the time from being a mom in the 1960s.
Yes.
Mothers then just had that Plato's cave kind of raising children, right? They went by what they had, what they were taught, what they knew, and you know, in the 60s, abortion was illegal, so it really was a very difficult decision, and but now, you know, now it's a different world. So I was just curious, what do you think of the morals and the mores that are now, and Sarah, you too?
Well, I think it's we're certainly much more liberal, we're much more vocal, we're more introspective than we were at that time. But I do think that the moray of following the mother-daughter situation still does go on from generation to generation in the way that women have their expectations, they have their dreams, they may sometimes vicariously put
Yes.
that onto their own children.
Right, just like Rose. But also a lot of moms didn't work in those days,
Yeah.
right?
No, women's lib is still such a young movement that I think newer mothers and newer generations of mothers are still figuring out how to straddle the void between their parents' generation and their grandparents' generation that
That's
had
right.
a more structured household life. And for women who want careers, for women that want to also mother and have more freedom, these rules are new. There's no blueprint really in place for the
Right.
right way to be a working mom, the right way to be a career woman with dreams and with passions.
Yes. Now, this obviously, this play, there's another girl, there are three moms, and how their mothers actually influenced their lives, maybe even ruined a little
Well,
bit.
and in most cases in the play, they took control.
Yeah.
Too much control.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, they took too much
control.
control, especially at that time. You know.
And it is a lesson for all of us that let your child be who they are.
Yes, the
Don't
wings.
project just
And
what
on
you.
on that great note, I'm going to say a special thanks to you wonderful ladies for being here, Sandra
Thanks for
Kay,
having us.
Sara Minisquero,
Thank you,
Minisquero, and I look forward to sharing time again. We'll do this again with other work and other guests on Notes and Notions. Remember to take note that the notion of love is universal. Let your love light shine through you to everyone you meet. Till next time, ciao.
I hear the castanets, they're calling. They have this dance, por favor. And I don't care where we are, as long as I am there with you. 'Cause there's a place in the world for those who say I love you. And if we wish upon a star, we'll never be alone. 'Cause we could travel here and far. We could stay right here at home.